If you're headed to Venice, Italy, well, it might cost you a little bit more to visit. Hey folks, I'm Walter, and as always, thanks for joining us. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. And of course, hit that little bell icon so that you'll be notified when we have new content here on the channel. As always, thank you so much for your support. So this morning I'm reading the news and I see that Venice, Italy is going to institute a tax, a tourist tax essentially. So for your day visit, you're essentially going to have to pay to go into the old city center. And this is a response to apparently overwhelming tourism that at times kind of overwhelms the city, and what Venice is saying that a lot of tourists are just not getting the experience that they should. So they want to institute this new tax to help limit the amount of people that are coming in, or if you're going to be coming in and not staying overnight, at least we're going to collect some tax from you. Let me throw my glasses on. So this is what it says here. So after years of discussing a possible tourist tax, the city of Venice has confirmed it will make day trippers pay between 3 and 10 euros to access the city center starting on January 16, 2023. So this isn't going to start until 2023. Venice Mayor Luigi Brugnaro said the goal of a new tourism fee is to discourage day tourism at certain times of the year and encourage people to stay overnight, because they'd rather that you stay in the hotels. So day trippers will have to pay the fee, but those who stay overnight only have to pay a small tax of 2 to 5 euros. It also goes on to say that nobody's going to be denied entry to Venice, but if you pay the tax, you're going to get preferred access. So maybe you're not going to be able to go to certain areas, or people who pay the tax will be able to go first, and then if there's room, we'll let the rest of you in. So they're kind of trying to control tourism almost like a theme park, if you will. Like you have to pay an admission price just to get into the city. Now what about cruise ship? Because that's obviously the way a lot of us are going to come in. That's how I would probably show up in Venice. And they do say that they're going to work with the cruise lines and probably come up with a lump sum fee. So just like we pay port fees right now for every port that we visit, probably the Venice fee will go up by 5 or 10 euros per person, and you won't see it because it'll just be rolled into your fee. I guess the other way they could do it if they really wanted to is call Venice an excursion just to get off the ship. If you get off the ship, you pay 10 euros. If you stay on the ship, you don't pay 10 euros, but that's probably going to be too confusing. So I'm willing to bet they're going to roll it in and it's just going to be part of our port fees and we will never see it. In another European news, if you have not seen the MSC World Europa of late, we just saw a picture on Twitter of the 11-deck dry slide. I mean, now you Royal Caribbean fans, if you have not looked at the World Europa yet, you really should, because you're probably going to recognize some things in there. Now, the back of the ship has that split Y design, kind of like the Oasis ships. You have the boardwalk, you got Central Park. It has a design like that with balconies facing in. An 11-deck dry spiral slide called the Venom drop. So instead of a big scary fish, it looks like it's going to be a cobra head at the very top there where you slide down. Now the interesting thing about MSC is they are a very value-priced cruise line. Here in the US, they sail out of Miami. I think they may sail out of New York from time to time as well. But their pricing very often is more in line with Carnival, but the ships themselves are rather high-end. They've got crystal-laced staircases going down the center. They've got some pretty high-end Italian food. Of course, their pizza is supposed to be among the best at sea. And they really do have some fun, like water parks and slides. So to me, it kind of looks like a cross between Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, if you will. But very often I see the pricing is similar to what you would see on Carnival. Now they do have the Yacht Club experience. Kind of similar to the idea of the Haven on Norwegian, except you can get in at a much lower price, and that includes interior cabins. So they include all levels of cabin in the Yacht Club. It's just an elevated experience over what you would typically get. But if you're a fan of Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival, you might want to take a look at MSC and see some of these ships that are sailing out of Miami. And now this new World Europa, if you're an Oasis class fan, well, this might be a ship that you want to consider sailing on in the future. So that's a couple of stories that caught my eye this morning. I mean, are you intrigued at all by this MSC Europa? Does that story out of Venice maybe make any changes to some upcoming plans? Or, it's just 10 euros, so I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. So folks, as always, thank you so much for your support. If there's any questions that you have about cruising, please put them down in the comments and I will do my very best to get the answers for you. Thanks again. Have an amazing day.